Morning routines. They're not just habits, they're actually rewiring our brains. Research shows that people who follow structured morning routines are 67% more likely to report higher life satisfaction. But here's the twist: it's not about what you do, it's about how you do it.
Oh, wow, that statistic really puts it in perspective. And you know what's fascinating? The neuroscience behind why those early hours are so crucial for setting up our day.
Well, let me share something interesting about that. Studies from Harvard Medical School show our cortisol levels naturally peak between 6 and 8 a.m., which means our bodies are literally designed to be most alert during these hours.
Hmm, that explains why so many successful people swear by their early morning routines. But what about those who've tried and failed to become morning people?
That's such a crucial point. The research actually shows that forcing yourself into someone else's ideal routine can be counterproductive. A study from the Sleep Research Society found that about 40% of our morning preferences are genetic.
Well, that certainly challenges the whole 5 a.m. club mentality we see all over social media. What's your take on finding a sustainable approach?
Here's what's fascinating: the most successful routines aren't about timing, they're about sequencing. Think of it like dominoes. Each action triggers the next. The American Psychological Association found that habit stacking increases routine adherence by 80%.
That's exactly what changed things for me. Instead of trying to do everything at once, I started linking new habits to existing ones, like drinking water right after brushing my teeth.
And speaking of water, there's compelling research from the Journal of Nutrition showing that morning hydration can boost cognitive performance by up to 14%. But here's where it gets really interesting: timing matters more than quantity.
So you're saying it's not just about drinking water, but about when we drink it?
Precisely. The study showed that consuming 16 ounces of water within the first 30 minutes of waking creates optimal hydration patterns for the entire day. But let's talk about decision fatigue, because this is where morning routines really shine.
Well, the research on decision fatigue is pretty mind blowing. Each decision we make depletes our mental energy, regardless of how important that decision is.
Right? And this is why figures like Barack Obama and Mark Zuckerberg famously wear the same outfit every day. They're conserving their decision making energy for more important choices.
That makes me think about how morning routines might impact productivity throughout the day. Have you seen any data on that?
Oh, this is fascinating. A study from the International Journal of Environmental Research found that people with consistent morning routines reported 23% higher productivity levels and, get this, 31% lower stress levels throughout the day.
Those numbers are significant. But let's talk about how someone can actually start building these habits without getting overwhelmed.
Well, here's what the research suggests: start with what scientists call a minimum viable routine. Just 3 to 5 minutes of intentional activity can trigger the same neurological benefits as longer routines.
You know what's interesting about that? It aligns perfectly with the concept of neuroplasticity. Our brain's ability to form new neural pathways through repeated behaviors.
Exactly. And this is where the magic happens. When we repeat these small morning actions, we're literally rewiring our brains for success. The Journal of Behavioral Science found it takes an average of 66 days to form a new habit.
That's much longer than the 21 days people often quote. How do you suggest people stay motivated during that initial period?
Here's what works, according to behavioral scientists: tracking progress increases habit formation success by 42%. But it's crucial to track the right metrics. Instead of perfect adherence, track consistency over time.
That's such an important distinction, focusing on progress rather than perfection.
And speaking of progress, let's talk about the ripple effect. Research from the University of Texas showed that people who maintain morning routines are 44% more likely to maintain other healthy habits throughout the day.
Well, that certainly explains why morning routines seem to have such a profound impact on overall life satisfaction.
You know what's really interesting? The same study found that it's not the specific activities that matter most. It's the act of showing up for yourself first thing in the morning that creates the psychological benefit.
That's a powerful reframe. It's not about the routine itself, but about the commitment to self care it represents.
Let me share one final piece of research that I find fascinating. A longitudinal study tracked successful people across different industries and found that 89% of them attributed their success not to having the perfect morning routine, but to having a consistent one.
That really brings it all together. Consistency over perfection, small steps over dramatic changes, and personal adaptation over copying someone else's routine.
Exactly right. And as we wrap up, remember this: the best morning routine isn't the one that looks most impressive on social media. It's the one that you can actually maintain, that serves your unique needs, and that sets you up for success in your own way.